Okay, we are back with our final installment of From This Day Forward, Ask the Pastor's Wife. So this gives Kim an opportunity to give her answers to what we've been talking about in this series. And this particular topic may be the most important one of all, because it stresses the commitment of never giving up. I know it would be hard for anyone who knows me to imagine that I was not the perfect husband all these 20-some years that we've been married. But there was a time I was not the perfect husband, was not as helpful as I should have been. And you came to a place in our marriage early on where you had 4 kids, 4 and under. Well, we had them together, so I take some responsibility. I am in seminary, so I've got a full load in graduate school. I'm working full time and trying to be a husband and a dad to 4 little kids. But we're just both overwhelmed. And you had a night that was kind of a turning point where you said, I can't do this anymore.
I remember one particular night, we had 4 kids, 4 and under, and I was putting them to bed, and it was rough. It was rough at bedtime trying to get them all to bed, and you were doing homework for your seminary class, and I didn't want to bother you because I did feel sorry for you having to do homework, so I tried to do it by myself, and I could feel the resentment building up in our marriage and towards you. And one night I was putting the kids to bed. They all were crying and not going to bed. I started crying, and I remember after shutting their doors and sitting in the hallway crying and just I was at rock bottom and saying, God, I can't do this anymore. You know, Billy has to get through school. We have 4 little ones. I need your help. And just crying out to him in desperation, saying, I need your help. I need something. And it was about the same time I was given the book, The Power of a Praying Wife. And I just thought, my marriage is the one thing I want to change right now. And so I committed to praying for you. There was 28 chapters, very easy to read. And I just started praying for these areas in your life that you would have never asked me to pray for, and I would have never thought about it. And it's not that my circumstance started changing, but my heart toward you was more tender, and my perspective started changing. So it changed me first. And then I saw a softer side of you. I saw a change in you. And I do think it's the result of prayer. And so I was very thankful to have been given that book.
So what counsel would you give to a couple, or maybe just one of the couple, who are at the place where they're saying, I don't know if I can do another day of what I'm doing. And I don't know if I want to. So it's not that I want to be a quitter, but this is just not fun and it's not good and I can't see it ever being good again. What advice would you give?
I know it sounds so cliche to say, just keep praying and, things will change. But I do believe in the power of prayer, and I do believe that it is powerful. And when you pray, you are inviting Jesus to help you. And so he becomes instrumental in you're really giving him permission to take charge and asking him to and welcoming him into your situation. And there's so much power in that. And like I said, it does change you first, and then it does change him.
Desperation doesn't have to be a bad thing. It can be the thing that triggers that reaching out for God to enter the conversation, to enter the situation,
exactly,
so that you can do more with him than you could ever do by yourself. And that's why people would expect a pastor to say, well, you should pray more. But it's not just a habit that we're trying to instill. It's a dependency on God that we're trying to cultivate so that he is an active part of our day. And the power of God is a real thing that prayer helps us tap into. And I think that's what you discovered in those years, because it didn't get easy. And it got harder. And it's still hard. But when we invite God's power into that situation, it's amazing what he can actually do that we could never do on our own.